Hi everyone, this video is on mixed exercise 14, question 14, and we have the total number of views of a viral video in X days is modeled by this equation. So V is basically the number of views and X is the number of days. In part A, we want to find the total number of views after 5 days. Right, so in part A, all we need to do is basically substituting 5 into X, because X is the number of days. So in part A, we want to get the total number of views after 5 days. So in this case, X is equal to 5, and that means we have V is equal to e to the power of 0.4 times 5 minus 1. And we get 6.389 and some other numbers, but we can round this, right? So this is approximately equal to 6.4 million views, because remember V is in million. Right, so in part B, we want to find dv by dx. So we essentially want to differentiate this equation. Now we have an exponential term, so whenever we want to differentiate exponential terms, we just differentiate the power, and the derivative is written as a coefficient of e basically. So 0.4x differentiates to 0.4, right? Now we just rewrite this exponential term. That's all we need to do in terms of differentiating the exponential term. So we differentiate the power, we write that down as a coefficient, and then we just rewrite the exponential term. And obviously minus 1 differentiates to 0. So this is the derivative. In part C, we want to find the rate of increase of the number of views after 100 days. Okay, so basically the equation that tells us the rate of change in this case is just dv by dx, right? We have already derived that. Now in part C, we want to know what's the rate of increase after 100 days. So that means we just need to substitute x is equal to 100 into this derivative, because again this derivative is about the rate of change of views. So we just have 0.4 times e to the power of 0.4 times 100. In this case, we approximately get, because remember that we want to give the answer, well, we just want to estimate the units. So it's just very important, because for the answer itself, we get 9.415 times 10 to the power of 16. But again, remember that V is in millions. So in this case, we have this many millions. And there's one thing that we just need to be careful. First, let's just round this number. So this is equal to 9.4 times 10 to the power of 22. So rather than just having in this form, because again remember that V is in millions, so we can just get rid of this sort of writing in words and actually just multiply this by 10 to the power of 6 to have this like this. So we have this many new views per day. That's very important. So new views per day. And what this means, again, this is just about the rate of increase of the views right after 100 days. So we are basically saying that the rate of increase of the number of views after 100 days is 9.4 times 10 to the power of 22. So we have basically this amount of new views every day. That's all about the rate of increase. And in part D, we want to use the answer to part C to comment on the validity of the model after 100 days. Now, obviously, this number is just too big. So it's much bigger than the population of the whole world. And it's not really valid after 100 days. So it doesn't quite make sense. It's just too large. And that's probably because the assumption is that we just have a constant exponential increase, but it's not correct. So we can say that this is not really valid after 100 days, because when we substitute 100, we get a very big number. So this is not valid after 100 days, since the number is too large.